For more, let's bring in retired diplomat and EWTN contributor Alberto Fernandez. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
This is Pope Leo's first apostolic journey to Turkey and Lebanon. Why were these two countries picked for the visit?
Well, I think there's a variety of elements that went in with the choice for this trip. Number one, some of the planning certainly happened or was already looked at under the pontificate of Pope Francis. So that's one part of it. There was planning for Lebanon during the time of Pope Francis. And of course, we had the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea for Turkey. So I think those two elements were in the background of why these countries were chosen, but it's very timely that they were.
In one of the most symbolic moments of his apostolic visit to Turkey, Pope Leo XIV commemorated the 1700th anniversary of the First Council of Nicaea. He spoke during an ecumenical prayer service held at the Turkish city, historically known as the birthplace of the Nicene Creed. What was the Pope's message to Christians there?
Well, of course, one of the tragedies is that there are no Christians in Nicaea. It's a town that is entirely or almost entirely Muslim. The Christians that were there at this celebration came from Istanbul, from other places. But certainly the message was one of unity, of healing the breach, of healing differences between the Western Church and the Eastern Church, the two lungs of historic Christendom. And that's a very powerful and important message.
This morning, the Pope prayed at the tomb of Saint Charbel, a Lebanese saint revered among Christians and Muslims. What do you think the long-term impact of this trip will be on Catholic-Islamic dialogue?
Well, quite frankly, I think that the trip helps in that area, but the differences in Lebanon are not so much religious as political. And Lebanon is in danger of war restarting at any moment. It could happen in the weeks after the Pope departs the country. And so his message to the people of Lebanon obviously is one of solidarity, one of sympathy for them, of identifying himself with the challenges and difficulties that they face.
The secular media highlighted the fact that Pope Leo removed his shoes but did not appear to pray in his visit to the Blue Mosque in Istanbul, unlike his predecessors Popes Francis and Benedict XVI. In a statement, the Vatican press office said Pope Leo visited the mosque in a spirit of reflection and attentive listening, with deep respect for the place and for the faith of those who gather there in prayer. Can you put Pope Leo's visit to the mosque into context for us?
Well, he's not the first pope to visit the Blue Mosque. I think the secular media is making a mountain out of a molehill. There's nothing that says that a Christian has to pray in a mosque or a pope has to do this. A couple of popes have done this, but obviously this is not an ancient tradition or an ancient thing. I tell you what you can see. If you're in the Blue Mosque, you step outside of the Blue Mosque in Istanbul, and to your right is a massive structure, which is the Hagia Sophia Mosque, which of course was the Church of the Holy Wisdom for over 1,000 years, the largest church in Christendom. And when the city was conquered by the Muslims, it was turned into a mosque, and then it was turned into a museum under Ataturk. And of course, in the last few years, 5 years ago, the Erdogan government turned it back into a mosque, a symbol of kind of Islamic supremacy.
Alberto Fernandez, thanks so much for your insights on the Pope's visit.
Thank you.